Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Arcanized, or Everest here, back again with another video. And I was just thinking about how this is the final year of the 2010s of this decade, which is kind of crazy. And I also realized that we're not getting any more comic book movies for 2019, so I thought it'd be a very fun idea to give you guys my favorite theatrical comic book movie from every year of the 2010s. Make sure to drop your list down in the comments because we're definitely going to disagree on some of these. And if you're new to this channel and like talking about movies, TV, comics, all sorts of geek culture, just go ahead and click that subscribe button. Help a brother out. Should be fun, and let's get into this. Also, I'm having a bad hair day, so the hood's staying on. So, starting off with 2010, it wasn't the best year for comic book movies. They weren't yet quite to the level of popularity that they are now. But my pick for 2010 is Kick-Ass. This really surprised me, but then I thought about it and I was like, Kick-Ass is a solid movie and definitely deserves more appreciation. I think it is super fun and I love how it's kind of grounded, and you know, it was the best for that year, and so I give it props. But once again, there wasn't much competition. So, yeah, Kick-Ass for 2010. 2011 was another relatively slow year, but my pick is Captain America, the First Avenger. I do think this movie is underrated. I think that first half, that origin story, is great. I really love seeing Steve Rogers transform into Captain America. Chris Evans was great in the role, and this was the big lead up to the Avengers in 2012. It's not a perfect comic book movie, but it is a lot of fun. My pick for 2012 is The Avengers. Now, I do like The Dark Knight Rises, but I just think what The Avengers did, what it was able to do, it made history. It brought all of these different sub-franchises together and made a movie with 6 huge heroes, and it was just awesome. I remember watching this in the theaters when I was like 7, and I was just blown away. It is such a good movie. Now, in 2013, we did get, like, a few comic book movies that, you know, were solid, but I think the best one for this year is Man of Steel. I really enjoyed Man of Steel, even though I definitely have some problems with it. I think the score is incredible, and Henry Cavill is alright in the role. It's a solid superhero film. It's not one that I go back to rewatch constantly, but for 2013, I did feel like that was my favorite one of the bunch. 2014. What a great year for comic book movies. We had X-Men Days of Future Past, we had Guardians of the Galaxy, but coming out on top for me personally is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. It is such a well-made film that I can really go back and rewatch anytime. It is so good. The pacing is awesome. Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson give great performances, and the story is just bold. It takes risks. It's one of the few MCU movies that really went out there, and I love it so much. 2015 for me is going to be Ant-Man. I really enjoy Ant-Man. It's just a fun movie. Again, it's not one that I constantly go back and rewatch, but every time I see it, like, on TV, I sit down and watch it for at least, like, half an hour because it's just a fun time. Paul Rudd gives a very charismatic performance, and it's also a different style film. It's a heist movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I think is very cool, and it's definitely one that I enjoy, and in my opinion, it's the best one of 2015. 2016 had a couple very good comic book movies, but the best one for me is Captain America: Civil War. I have seen this film probably close to 10 times, and I still love it. It is so good, and the themes and, kind of Iron Man and Cap coming to a head and fighting each other, the Avengers being broken up, leading into Infinity War. It's just such a good movie. It's emotional, it's action-packed, it still has that Marvel banter, and it is up there on my favorite movies of all time. Now, 2017 was an extremely hard year to pick from. I mean, we had Wonder Woman, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, which are all films that I really, really like, but it had to be Logan. I'm not a huge X-Men movie fan, but what that film was able to do, I think, is just incredible. It's so emotional, and it's so story-driven. It's not one that I rewatch a lot at all, because I don't find it very rewatchable, but it's such a great movie, and I had to put it here for 2017. Now, 2018, there were two films that I absolutely adored that came out in 2018. Last year, this was so hard to choose from. I flipped these two back and forth and back and forth. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite comic book movie of 2018. I wanted to put Infinity War here, but Spider-Verse is such a fun, such a unique film. There's definitely gonna be people who don't like it, but I loved it. The animation style is so great, and you can tell people who loved Spider-Man made that movie, and so it just barely edges out Infinity War for the 2018 title. Now we get to 2019. What was my favorite comic book movie of this year? This was hard as well. We've had some great movies come out, like Shazam, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home. All three of those I really, really like. But I'm going with the Joker. I absolutely loved what they did with that film. It was so different and really transcended the genre of comic book movies. And so, though I love Avengers Endgame, I love Shazam, I love Spider-Man Far From Home, Joker just brought out all these strange emotions in me and just delivered a fantastic movie. So, that is my list for the best theatrical comic book movie of every year of the 2010s. Again, make sure to drop your list down below in the comments. I appreciate all of you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.